Dillian the Body Snatcher right here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
Okay, so there's been quite a few articles flying around that should Tyson Fury vacate his WBC World Heavyweight title, which of course has been threatened, then Dillian Whyte will be ordered to fight the number one in the WBC, Deontay Wilder, for the vacant belt. Now, this is coming from articles online such as The Sun, such as The Mirror. Basically, they're somewhat credible, even though they do put out a lot of complete hogwash, let's be honest. But they're huge, huge platforms, okay? Now, you would think, with the size of their platform and their businesses, that they would know the basics. So I want to dispel the myth of what it is that they're claiming. Now, firstly, should Tyson Fury vacate that WBC World Heavyweight title because he's not happy about giving Dillian Whyte the split that's owed to Dillian Whyte as per the WBC rules, and if he vacates and walks away, personally, that's a duck. I think most people can agree with that one. Hey, at the end of the day, he said on a couple of occasions, he said to Eddie Hearn on their podcast, he said to Gary Neville, I'm a Spartan. I don't care about money. I've already got money. I'm already rich. What do I need more money for? I don't need money. I'm a Spartan. I just want to fight. Let's see. Anyway, should he vacate the belt, what will happen is the WBC interim champion will then be elevated to full champion. Dillian Whyte will get the belt automatically. This is what happens. Look at Devin Haney. Look at Jamal Charlo. Look at Triple G when he was ordered to fight Canelo and Canelo refused before they actually got around to it. See, this is what happens. Interim champions get elevated. It's their rules. If the WBC champion in any weight division either A, can't make a mandated fight, refuses to make the fight, walks away, as in retires or drops the belt, however it may be, the interim champion then gets elevated to full WBC world champion. So this is what will happen with Dillian Whyte. Now, I'm not going to say that 100% the WBC would not make the belt vacant and would order Dillian Whyte versus Deontay Wilder. Listen, they've been doing Dillian Whyte dirty for the longest time. So if they're going to do it to anybody, it's probably going to be Dillian Whyte. Let's be honest. Okay, that's what they do. They seem to be a very, very dirty organisation when it comes to Dillian Whyte, among other things. But maybe Dillian Whyte could just become champion and then they could order Dillian Whyte to defend that belt against Wilder. That's a possibility. Again, it's not usually the norm because whenever somebody is a new champion, they're given a voluntary. They're allowed a voluntary defence. Again, that's usual. Not always. I mean, of course, it can happen if there's already a mandatory. But currently there isn't outside of Dillian Whyte, okay? So it shouldn't really happen, but yes, of course, it is possible that it would happen. Should Deontay Wilder be number one after coming off back-to-back knockout defeats? No, of course not. Of course not. But at the same time, it's a fight that I've always wanted to see. I've always wanted to see Dillian Whyte versus Deontay Wilder. I've been saying it for the past 3-4 years now, that I want to see Deontay Wilder against Dillian Whyte, and I've been heavily favouring Dillian Whyte to knock out Deontay Wilder. I've been saying it for a long time that Dillian Whyte, stylistically, is all wrong for Wilder. Don't get me wrong, Wilder is always going to be dangerous, and if he lands flush on Dillian, there's a very good chance Dillian will go down and won't get back up again, for sure. Of course there is. But either way, will I be right? Will I be wrong? We'll have to wait and see. I personally would like to see that fight. Is Wilder going to continue fighting? We don't know. He has spoken about maybe retiring. He has spoken about how he's still got more things to do in the sport of boxing. So again, we don't really know. But he's not going to be out till at least April time anyway, because of his injury and of course because he got knocked out in his last fight. So he's suspended currently. But I'd like to see that fight. I would like to see that fight. But anyway, just to go back to the point, it shouldn't happen as per the WBC rules that Dillian Whyte will not be fighting Wilder for the vacant belt. If he does fight Wilder, Dillian Whyte will walk to the ring as champion. But again, Deontay Wilder has a history of ducking Dillian Whyte. Not my opinion, fact. He even sent him a personal DM saying how he's going to freeze him out. So, you tell me, would Wilder accept the fight? Probably not. Probably not. But hey, you know what? I'd like to be wrong. I'd like to see that fight. I really would. Anyway, let's hope that Tyson Fury does not vacate. Let's hope he doesn't duck Dillian Whyte again, like he did before for the WBC Diamond belt that he asked for. So For me, I want to see Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte for the belt. If Dillian Whyte's going to become champion, I'd rather that he does it by defeating Tyson Fury rather than get it in the post. And Dillian Whyte will totally agree with me on that one. But if needs must, and that's what happens, well, what's he supposed to do? You can't force Tyson Fury into the ring. You really can't. But anyway, just to dispel that myth of the WBC will not, or at least should not, order Dillian Whyte versus Deontay Wilder for a vacant belt. If they do order that fight, it will be Dillian Whyte walking to the ring as champion. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you on the next video.